Today, I have a classic for you. Some French onion soup. So good and cheesy, savory, all of the above. Y'all stick around. Peep how I did it. Alright, so check it. This is everything we're gonna need for this soup. We're gonna use some Gruyere cheese, some sweet onions, some unsalted beef stock, our French baguette, some dried sherry, and also some Italian parsley. I found out that this parsley has the best flavor out of all the parsleys. We're gonna use some salt, pepper, bay leaves, and thyme. So we're gonna use about 8 of these sweet onions. They're small to medium size. Most of them are medium. So we're gonna use 8 of them. If you have large ones, you're gonna use about 6 of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the poles off each end and peel them. And we're gonna cut against the onion grain, from end to end. We're not gonna cut it with the grain. You're gonna get much thinner slices this way. And we're just gonna repeat that process until we have all of the onions sliced. So now we have all of our onions sliced. Some of them are gonna stick together. Don't worry about that. They're gonna break apart once you add them to the pot. And over to a pot, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So we have our pot on a medium heat. We're gonna go ahead and melt the butter. Then we're gonna add our onions to the pot. Once we add our onions, we're gonna go ahead and give them a little salt because the salt is gonna bring out the moisture and the sugars in the onions. And it's gonna help the cooking process, help the onions caramelize. Now we're gonna let the onions go for a little while. We're gonna come back, check on it, make sure it's not sticking. As you can see, the onions are starting to release its natural juices and sugars. This process right here can take up to an hour. So you want to just go ahead and keep checking on it. Now you can see the onions have softened. Now you can see they're starting to caramelize. Gonna let them go some more. And at this point, you want to just kind of flip the onions because they're softened now. You don't want to keep stirring it. You don't want the onions to turn into mush. You want them to kind of still have that onion texture to it. And as you can see, it's getting darker, but we're gonna let it go a little bit longer. So we're gonna go ahead and spread the onions out evenly so they all can caramelize at the same time. Now the onions are to their caramel color. Now it's time to add the rest of the ingredients. We're gonna add 2 cups of dry sherry. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna let this cook. We're gonna let this reduce. Once this reduces, we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. Now, the hard part is over, you guys. I wouldn't even call it the hard part, the long part. It's over with. Now, like I said, we're gonna let it reduce. You can see that it has now reduced. The alcohol is cooked out, and we're gonna add our beef stock, unsalted beef stock, not beef broth. And I really prefer that you get a premium beef stock because that's gonna make all the difference. And if you know how to make your own beef stock, go for it. It's your preference. But for the sake of this video, I just went ahead and used this regular schmegular beef stock, just to show you the recipe. So I used 2 32-ounce cartons of unsalted beef stock, which equals 8 cups of unsalted beef stock. Then you want to go ahead and add 2 bay leaves, add your fresh thyme, and then we're gonna salt and pepper to your taste. And we're gonna go ahead and give that a nice stir. We're gonna bring it up to temperature. We're gonna put the top on it, and then we're gonna turn it down just a little bit and let this cook for 30 minutes. After those 30 minutes, your soup is all done. All of the flavors have mended together. Go ahead and get the thyme out. Get the bay leaf out, if you can find that mother. And then add your fresh Italian parsley. Last step. Put the top on it, turn the heat off. And you know a French onion soup is not a French onion soup without your fresh French baguette crostini and melted cheese on top. So we're gonna go ahead and cut them about 1 inch thick, you know, salt and pepper both sides with a little bit of olive oil. Put it in the oven at 425 degrees for about 5 minutes. They're gonna be nice and crunchy, crispy, brown, golden, all of the above. I could eat this just like this. Go ahead, get your oven-safe bowl. In this case, I'm using a ramekin. Go ahead and pour you some soup up in your ramekin or your oven-safe bowl. But leave just a little space at the top for your bread. And the reason why we toasted our baguette is so they don't get soggy. And also to hold up the cheese so it don't fall in your soup. We're gonna go ahead and put it under the broiler at 525 degrees for about a minute and a half, not long at all. So we went ahead and pulled them out the oven. It's all done. It's scorching hot though. I'm regretting trying to eat this straight from under the broiler. Look how hot it is. Smoking. I had to pray for a second. Lord, please don't let this burn the taste buds off of my tongue. Because I love to eat. And I would cry if I couldn't taste food anymore. I had to go in for another scoop. Lord. Y'all hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Until then, I'll see y'all next time. Look at that cheese pull. Peace.